Hello and welcome back to the Shifting Realms. Tonight we're going to be doing another one of our special episodes, the character vignettes, and I am specifically joined by Ben, who is going to be playing Jabanu. First, Ben, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Glad to be here. I'm jazzed, riled up, raring to go.
On a scale of 1 to 11, how would you rate, like 1 being like, negative, bad, 11 being like off the charts? How do you feel?
I mean, honestly,
I'm ready.
11.
That's off the charts.
Yes.
How long do you think you will feel that way?
11 minutes.
Hold on. Let me make sure I can work that in appropriately for the big drop at 11 minutes. Thank you.
Yes.
How do you think Jabanu is feeling about the journey we're about to go on tonight into your past?
Jabanu's feeling great, unsuspecting, blithe even.
Some might say. I'm going to tell you right now, both you and Jabanu, it is my promise to you, my oath to you, that by the end of this vignette session, somebody's mind's going to get blown. You can hold me to it.
I'll hold you to that.
All right. Well, we'll see if I can hold true to my promise here in just a few minutes.
Tulu, what do you think? I'm looking for something that I need for one of my potions. There's one. Everyone, I found it. The saffron field cap.
People ask me, am I a good person or a bad person? I don't even know if I am a person. I've no memory from before I met these people. They're the only friends I have, and I will protect them.
Stick close. Anything could be out there. Trust me. Dying isn't the worst thing that'll happen to you out here.
What's out there?
I've seen what it can do, and I won't let it happen again.
You can't fix what she did.
Oh, that sounds simply dreadful. You must have been terrified. Would you mind repeating that last part? Don't be afraid to really slow it down. Let's dig into the details.
Usually, when walking into a situation, I shoot first and ask questions later. Gives me the best kind of information.
The secrets of Archaeath and the Arcs. Why, we've hardly scratched the surface. I intend to make the first dent. Where you see binaries, I see an alloy. Divine, arcane, wholly separate forms of the weave. I have combined them.
It's the weirdos who want to save the world. They're usually the lunatics who endanger it. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm going to write that down. Hold on, where's my pen? Where's my pen?
Now, for some, a job is certainly just a job. It's a position that you hold. It's where you show up. It's the 9 to 5. We all know, we've all experienced it. But for some individuals, it can become all-encompassing, a life. An individual who serves, truly serves, with the Order of the Keepers, gives up some of their life. It becomes a home. It becomes a family. It becomes something much more. Routines don't just follow A, B protocol. It is a way of operating, a way of thinking. It is giving up a segment of who you used to be for who the organization needs you to be. And while some individuals are able to maintain some semblance of authenticity, normalcy, their true character, it can be more challenging for others. Jabanu, what does a normal day look like for you serving in the Citadel of Lore?
Well, first, I don't wake up because I don't sleep.
So true.
Yes. I exit from my trance, my 4-hour trance, which I try to do between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m.
That's nice.
Even though I like the nighttime, I feel like that's what's most conducive to coexisting with humans and other sleepers.
As we call them.
As we
colloquially.
call them, yes. Yes, and so, and so I'm going to, I'm sitting cross-legged on my cot or whatever. I'm in my little study, because, I live in my study. It's just the one room. And I come out of my trance, and always I get my best writing done right out of the trance. So I'm going to go straight to the notebook.
What chapter are you writing today?
This is chapter 23, book 3 of the Sultan in the Sky trilogy. Yes, and where I'm at right now, Jerry, our protagonist, she was just awoken up by the sound of muffled footsteps going towards the Sultan's chambers, and she went in there to behold an assassin poised over the Sultan's bed.
How terrible.
Yes. The other courtesans cowering silently in the corner. It's only going to be... and so I'm just going to be writing. Okay, all right, let's see, where was I? All right, Jari sprang into action, wrestling the assassin's knife away. Heaving, grunting. No, that's too... No, that's too. I'll say that for later. Right. Gasping, the assassin turned around, pushed her to the ground, raised the knife up. She yelled with all her fury, "Step away from him," and launched into him, forgetting her moon magic for the time being, turning into something more animalistic in her defense of him. Animalistic. I already used animalistic 2 times this chapter. Now. Into bestial. Oh no, I hate that word.
You look to your
no.
left. There's a thesaurus.
Animalistic, bestial, furious. No, not furious, fury. You know what? I'm just gonna say fury. Yeah. Why use an adjective when you have a noun? Yeah, that's what I always say. All right.
You look to your right, and there's actually a sign on the wall that you've put there. That's what it says.
Yes. I have my study is filled with hundreds of little papers that have little reminders in a shorthand that I was certain I would understand later, and about 1 in 10 makes any sense to me, but I keep them around just in case, because they might actually mean something important. All right, let's skip ahead. Laughing, the assassin drew down his veil, and lo, there was standing there the Sultan himself. "You have passed my test, Jerry." "How dare you," she said, and slapped him. Celine, cowering in the corner, stood up. But, and he said, "And the rest of you, cowards, all of you, Jerry here is the only one who leapt to my defense even though there was an assassin right here in the bedchamber." Celine, her eyes dripping with venom. Ew, no. No, today's not my day. I'm coming back to this later.
You look as you take your manuscript. Is it a little journal? Is it a booklet? Is it just paper itself? Vellum scroll? What's it look like?
Yeah. It's a journal that's on like one of those old-timey vellum kind of like parchment type things where it's not quite a book, but it's almost like, they have the holes punched in and they have like the loops wrapped around it to kind of hold it together, kind of like a proto book, sort of. And that's what I'm using, fine inks, fine quill, writing in it. But there's a lot of stuff scratched out. This is just there will be a much nicer sort of manuscript I copy it into once
Right.
once I have like the final one done.
Of course.
This is rough draft, you know.
Well, you finish up your drafting for the morning, as you are wont to do, and where do you find yourself next? Are we staying in your study, or are we moving on to something else? You are aware that you are essentially, you're between formal jobs right now. There is nothing in your task list, your to-do list. There are no outstanding manuscripts that you are essentially contracted to find currently. That does not mean that there are not chores and tasks for you around the Citadel. So what are you filling your day with?
Well, there's a big pile of manuscripts I have to catalog and make sure that they actually have something worthwhile in them, you know, even though I drag them from across continents. You know, like hidden in my little wagon to avoid, you know, duties and imposts and that kind of thing.
Correct.
Because it's a lot cheaper to transport rice across borders than it is rare manuscripts. So.
That's true. You look to the other side of your wall and you see another sign that actually says that in your hand.
I gotta work on these. All right. But I don't want to do that. I'm gonna get up and stretch, do my morning like calisthenics. You know, like I like to keep limber. You know, even though. You know, I'm 400, you know, maybe getting a little closer.
Hey.
It's a 450.
450 is young for a desert elf.
True. But, you know, it's still, it's young only as long as, you know, you keep young, you know, and that takes exercise, good eating.
So true.
You know, coffee every morning, which, by the way, that's step number 2 right there.
Naturally.
You know, as soon as I've, you know, gotten all the genius out onto the page, you know, I'm going to go get my coffee. Very particular about it. It needs to be, you know, it's the kind of coffee that still has the little, like the grounds in the bottom, so it's very bitter. And I put the tiniest bit of date syrup in it, and that is the coffee.
Now, date syrup from where? Date syrup from home?
Yes, date syrup from Kailoros. Real Kailoros dates. Not that fake stuff from up north.
Of course.
Not those little grapes with pretensions. No. These are real Kailoros dates.
So you've got your genius out on the page, you've got your coffee, and yet the day is still wide before you. How do you fill this?
So after that, breakfast.
Okay.
All right, and we're talking dates.
Yeah.
More dates, of course. We're talking pita bread. We're talking hummus. We're talking some olive oil with some za'atar spices, a bit of feta cheese, some sliced tomatoes, sliced cucumbers, and a little bit of that kind of fluffy kind of baked bread too, like on top of the pita.
Yeah.
Like 2 different kinds of bread.
At minimum.
At minimum, yeah, minimum 2.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm gonna, you know, go out, start, you know, saying hi to my fellow keepers here in the Citadel.
You step outside of your study for the first time, as far as I am aware, and you step outside and you watch individuals are just hurriedly going about their morning task. There is a rotation of individuals who are sweeping and cleaning, and as soon as they finish sweeping, somebody is coming and mopping up, pouring buckets of water over this, scrubbing everything. There is this sense of, if we are not staying focused, if we are not staying dedicated to the craft and working, then we are becoming lackadaisical in our crafts. As you step out for the first time 2.5 hours after your morning routine is completed, with what I can only imagine is a pretty big comfortable stretch.
A performative stretch. Yes.
There is a universal stopping and pause up and down the hall. And if the hallway could breathe simultaneously, and they go back about their business.
Hi, folks. Right. Hi, Jareth. Hi, Gray. Doug.
Jabanu.
Anyway, I'm going to keep walking. I feel like my tasks, when I'm not like cataloging manuscripts and stuff, which I save for the evening, kind of my menial labor involves the stables.
Yes.
I clean out the stables, which I don't mind, dignified work. I like the horses, the other creatures there, and I like them much better than people. So.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go.
Anyone in particular you're going to go see at the stables?
Yes, I'm going to see my goat Misa. First thing, she's perfect. So I'm gonna get to Misa, and Misa, a big, beautiful, white-furred riding goat, a war goat. You know, she can bound across the desert. She can climb cliffs, basically, with her little hooves. I'm gonna go over. I'm just gonna give her a big hug and kiss.
As you walk over to Misa,
Who's my sweet, sweet Misa?
you can almost see in her eye that there's not, I wouldn't call it like silent judgment, but there's this concept of like she is fussing over the other horses and animals in this space. Like there are things in disarray, things out of order, that it seems bothersome and troublesome to Misa. And then Misa sees you and just is ready to receive. And as you're coming in for your scritches, who's the bestest goats, there is this dignified, well, obviously it's me.
I know, those others, the animals, aren't they? Animals.
Looks over, looks back, and just like leans back in appropriately to a spot you have not yet scritched. It makes it more available for you.
Ah, of course.
You spend some time with Misa, you muck the stables, you take care of some
Very,
tasks.
very, very delicately. Almost as if like that muck wasn't even there in the first place.
It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty clean. And for someone who has spent 2.5, 3 hours of their morning preparing to enter and maybe not dedicating themselves to the same type of craft that their peers in the Citadel, there is something wrong about this dedication you're showing to this stable.
Oh yes, I've got a full farrier's kit. You know, I'm buffing and polishing those hooves. I've got a little jar of olive oil, and that's real Kailoros olives, okay?
Yeah.
You know, not those olives from the north that
up
are
north.
basically,
Yeah.
that are capers with pretensions. So I'm
Disgusting.
Yeah. So and so I'm rubbing her fur down with olive oil and brushing it. That whole process takes me another hour easy, and then the next hour is split among the rest of the animals.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the horses. Like I go in there, yeah, here's your food. You know? All right. Yeah. Well, no, but I'm nice to them too, but nowhere near as the attention. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
all the
there's-
rest of the horses and perhaps other creatures.
Certainly. There is a wide gambit of the types of riding creatures. Something that appears almost like it's avian in nature, bipedal at the same time, has this elongated neck, kind of almost like a giraffe, with this hooked, almost axe-like beak that seems to be coming off the front of it. Has unique tacking, essentially, for this. It's a unique riding creature. You don't see those that often in this part of the world. And you manicure and take care of the rest of the creatures, the rest of the animals. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've worked pretty hard today.
I do. Yeah. This has been a long day so far.
It might be time for maybe a late lunch or an early dinner.
You're speaking my language. Well, more of like a kind of a brunch type.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean, some people's brunch,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
dinner, the workday's over pretty much. So,
Yeah. Okay.
where do you take it?
I go. There's this little spot in the Citadel. I don't really like eating with people very much. You know, it doesn't make sense, like, because they want to talk, and you're like, well, you can't eat and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
You use the same organ for both functions.
So true.
So I like to eat alone. I have a little corner where I kind of like to eat a little bit of brunch, and I like it because it has like a nice view
Yeah.
of the sort of valley below, and it's in a spot that's kind of precarious. Like it's a bit of a perch, kind of like those old photos of like when like the skyscrapers were going up in New York, and there's those people like sitting on girders eating a sandwich. It's kind of like somewhere up like that that I'm having like a lunch.
And I imagine you get your usual.
Oh yes.
You come, and there seems to be some type of, it's a beastkin individual who seems to be the owner and proprietor of this, and you know her name to be Maud, and she looks something like a simian in nature, monkey-like, comes out and almost like swinging from post to post, while delicately bringing in your bowl, your plate, as various cups and accoutrement, and is placing them down in front of you, and there's no words spoken. This is an individual who knows who you are, one, and what you like. Food was promptly brought, no conversation, and they leave.
Love you, Mod. I say to myself.
And you have a marvelous meal.
I'm sure I'm assuming kind of the lunch at the Citadel, sort of like provided by them, sort of.
There are individuals who are visiting the Citadel, and they will have the equivalent of, we would call them tourist passes. They are something that clearly mark and distinguish them as non-residents, and not in an intentionally exclusionary way, but in a way to help individuals understand that they are welcome in the Citadel. However, they are also non-residents, meaning that they are not entitled to access the same rooms and the same buildings that you are able to access in the main keep. They are able to go to the main libraries and request things, but they have to show their pass and show when they arrived and when they are being asked to leave. It's the same idea of getting like your visa stamped for coming into the Citadel and leaving. It is a small Vatican City, essentially, of knowledge and lore. It is its own country. It is its own realm.
Eight?
Kind of. I could also see it being something that is troublesome or problematic. There is this revolving door of individuals who don't know how things work or how they operate. They don't know where is the right place to go, where is the wrong way to go. And every now and then they see you as a helpful individual. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm looking for, and they like hold something up really close to your face. Just uncomfortably. Can you give me directions on how to get here? I'm looking for this specific manuscript, and they just like immediately pull out a second document, and as if your peripheral vision was somehow open still, they bring it up from the side so you can no longer see. Have you heard of this? Have you seen this?
Yeah, you're looking for the archives. Again, the archivist is just down that hall, and then you take a left, and then you take a right, and then you take a left, and then you take a right, and then there's the archives.
Left, right, left, right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Oh, I'm gonna cast it out for a fake name. I don't want to.
Obviously so.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. My charisma's pretty low.
Was I not supposed to? You're one of. And they immediately look. They look terrified. I'm so sorry. I know I wasn't supposed to ask that. They told me.
Common mistake.
No. They sat us down, and there was a whole presentation, and they told us not to ask. I am so sorry.
No, it's fine. Happens all the time.
Well, okay. Left, right.
Now go.
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
Go on, go.
And they like stay there for another 6 seconds. I can't believe I did that. And they realize they're still there talking aloud.
You're still doing it.
I'm gonna go now. And they like take off. And you see them turn left. And then you see them come out of that same left from going right again onto the same street they originally were.
Just keep going, you'll find it.
They go left again, and you stop paying attention.
I leave, yeah. Tourist.
What now, Jabanu? I mean, this day's going pretty great.
I'm gonna try and find one of my friends and see if they want to hang out or something.
Hey, they're probably working. But you know where to find them.
I might help them. I'm really putting off cataloging those manuscripts. I don't want to do it, so I'm gonna go try and find my friend.
Beautiful. Specifically, I just want to make sure: are we thinking of which friend? Are we thinking about Elzier? Or are we talking about somebody else?
Elzier. Yeah.
Beautiful. You know that Elzier specifically works in one of the lower levels of the main keep within the Citadel of Lore. Specifically, an area that not all individuals have access to, even among the keepers. So you know that probably for the next hour or so, you will not be able to meet or connect with Elzier. It is an area that is off limits even for you. You are what we would call an extrinsic, outwardly facing part of the organization, smuggling books, bringing things back across borders. And Elzier is someone who is being trained to be a whisper. And you would know the whispers to be individuals who take a vow of silence and essentially are the thinkers, the thought leaders of this, and are also remarkably talented and gifted with the weave and the arcane.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna. All right. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go on a little sarha, which means an aimless walk, where I just sort of explore and wander a little bit.
Beautiful.
Seeing other people hard at work, very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are individuals that for a second almost mistake you as like a tourist and have like this like fake like tourist charm. And then you watch all of a sudden some people, they look closer and they like retract their wave, if that's even a thing that can be possibly done.
Oh, it can be done.
And they like look up to the sun and they look back to you. And you don't hear what they're saying because you're aimlessly walking. But you think you can make out their lips saying, why aren't they working? And you keep aimlessly going.
Yeah. I prefer field work, to be honest. I'm talking to myself.
You can easily kill an hour. There's no doubt about that. You realize that by the time it takes you to walk back to your room, you can probably meet up with Elzir on the way, heading back to the same portion of the barracks, essentially, to head back. You can time it now, probably catch Elzir before they go straight to their room and start doing their cataloging.
I'll try to catalog one thing while I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I visited a library in Archaeath. The only thing I brought back was a book of poems by Ravenaster. I'm trying to see if it's something they'd be interested in, because nothing else in that library was even remotely,
You look as you sit back in your study. You're going back to your study for a little while to catalog some things as you wait for Elzir. And you look down at this book of poetry, right? House Liren, Ravenastor of House Liren. And you've read through it a couple of times. And you begin to think to yourself, am I doing this because I think there's something of value here? Or am I reading this over and over and over again because this is the only thing that actually has value to me? Of the manuscripts in the books that you have been asked to bring back time and time and time again, they are ciphers, they are codes, they are glyphs, they are sigils, they are things that defy most individuals' basic understanding, yet those are the things they seem most interested in. And once you bring those books back, and they are deemed to be problematic, for whatever that means, they're taken away, and they're taken to the lower levels of the keep. And you know that you could show this book of poetry, and it would be cast aside. It would not be taken. You know this has no actual value. But for now, it's yours.
I'm going to make a little notation in it. Like envy, no value, something like that. And then I'm just going to put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
All right. Let me
slide it into your pocket.
Yeah.
There's a knock at your study door.
Come in.
And there is like a slow creak as your door swings open inwardly. And you just see, kind of leaning up against the door frame, is Elzir. Individual, kind of this well-coiffed shock of auburn hair, well-manicured auburn beard. You see they're wearing robes, plain white robes of a Whisper Initiate. Now, Jabanu, you know that you could put on a little bit more of a show to show excitement. I am your only friend.
I'm well aware of that. I thought I was putting a bit of a show on out there.
Well, I say, if that is your attempt at a show, that is, mighty poor. Might I come in?
Did you see
I
the stables?
This organization that you have.
Has anyone even checked the stables?
No one
they're
else
gorgeous.
checks the stables besides you.
They're beautiful.
I'll take your word on it, my friend.
All right, yeah. Come on.
May I move this pile of book?
You move that pile. Move it into that pile, but don't combine them.
Well, I will do my best.
All right,
you watch as it just knocks it off.
Hey, those could mean something.
The instructions unclear, buddy?
Oh. Yeah, that's my fault. That one's on me.
Well, you said it.
Hey.
So how was your day? Lots of work getting done, I imagine?
The stables, they're good. Okay.
You've mentioned that several times. What else have you done?
I cataloged this. Pull out the book of poetry.
And it continues on. That's the same report you gave me yesterday, right? I'm not going to be able to talk for much longer, and these are going to be our last conversations.
Can't you just tell, can't you just tell your boss, who is, who...
My boss is your boss, too. You know his name's Morak.
Well, first, tell Morak to lighten up, okay?
Okay.
Tell him to, take a vacation or something. The guy's super intense. He freaks me out sometimes.
Well, he's intense
honestly.
because he cares. You know that.
Do you know what all that is?
We don't talk about that. You know that, too.
Okay. Hey, one of these days you're going to slip and tell me what all that is.
Well, I'm not going to be able to tell you that in a couple of weeks, am I? So you better get those questions out.
If I catalog 2 of these things, you want to go out and just throw stuff?
Are you familiar with I'm going to say a word, and I want you to tell me if you ever heard it before. The word is quota.
I've heard all the words before, okay?
Okay. Well, tell me in your interpretation what a quota means to you, because I think it means jack shit to you.
Listen, a quota is like a beautiful bird that makes a wonderful sound as it flies right by.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really nice, actually. In fact, I thought I knew the word quota. I thought I knew what I meant. I realized I was mistaken, and you have educated me. Hey.
You're welcome.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Come here. Reaches out.
All right.
Goes to give you a big hug.
That'll be 5 silver.
Smacks you across the face as soon as you get close. You know, I hit you because I love you.
That one actually hurt a little bit.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, look right
here. He's looking down at his hand. You smack him across the left cheek. Lastly, I should have saw that one coming. And there's a somberness that comes over Elsier. I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss this too. Who am I gonna throw stuff off the roof with?
I will tell you. You keep making things up. I never did that.
Right.
You say I did, though, it's gonna get me in trouble.
Of course not.
No, you say it, but with the inflection, it sounds like you don't believe it either. You're lying.
All right, I'll try and control my inflection. Watch this. Of course not.
Well, see, you did this thing with your hands, and it counteracted most of the attempt.
Wow. I don't like feeling this micromanaged. I'm trying to catalog manuscripts here.
Looks to the right. Looks to the left. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that's what you called this.
Hey, I'm working on it. Okay, I got all the important ones.
I didn't come here just to shoot the shit. I brought you something.
Oh, what is it?
Well, it's work, but it's for you. It's work for you. He hands you a book.
Paper. You remembered.
It is a small book. It's like a half size. It looks like one of those gold binding children's books, right? That's all just you open it up and it's like the cat has orange fur, and you pet that side and you flip it to the next one and hands it to you. And then as they go to pass it to you, they don't let go. And they look up and you lock eyes for a second. You two have an agreement. And the agreement is that if there is ever pressing information, you will tap into the cryptograms that you have taught them, trained them in. They know they're not going to be able to talk forever. They're going to give a vow of silence soon. And you've showed them a way that they're going to be able to continually pass messages on to you. In that moment, you watch their eyes go down to your breast pocket, tucked inside. Hear me when I say this. This book, it might be the most important book you ever catalog. So, listen. Talk to me. Talk to me whenever you're done cataloging it, okay? I want to hear how it went.
Yeah, sure thing, Elsie. Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
All right. I think all this dust getting to me, my allergies. I've got some things I gotta get done. You tell me how you like that one.
Yeah, okay.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Well, all right. Stands up, looks to the left, kind of scoffs at some of the other piles, looks to the right, looks down at the pile that they have caused, now scattered on the ground. All right, well, they ain't gonna catalog themselves.
If only.
No,
No.
starts walking out. That's not how it works. I'm gonna shut this door, and I know you're gonna get to work.
Yeah, that's true.
Just don't say anything. It helps. It breaks the lie I'm telling myself. Goodbye, Jabanu.
Oh, okay, goodbye.
And they shut the door behind.
That was mysterious and dramatic. What is he getting? And I'm going to look at the little scroll that appeared in my pocket per the cryptogram, and I'm going to see, what does it say?
It says, check your latest manuscript. And then you watch as it gets crossed out. And then below it, it says, not the one you likely did this morning. And then below that, it says, the manuscript.
All right, well, I'm going to go to my little secret compartment on the bottom of my desk. That kind of opens with a weird little, like, you got to slide a bunch of things and twist the thing, and then I slide it out. And I'm just looking to see if my secret manuscript is there.
It's empty.
Oh, no. I'm going to close it. And I'm going to open it again.
It's still empty.
Oh, no. Oh.
You still have that manuscript. A small little scroll that had appeared in your breast pocket. And you had gone quite quickly, and you see the final line begin to appear. And it says, Morak knows. Run.
Oh boy, okay. I'm gonna kind of look around, sort of stupefied for a second. Look around, anything to grab. I'm just gonna grab my dervish. Sheath it on my back. I have my little book of poetry. The weird little book he gave me. I'm gonna stick that in there. I'm gonna put on my cloak. No, I'm gonna take the cloak back off and kind of bundle up in my arms like this. And then I'm gonna like open the door and like shaking, I am going to do my best to casually saunter out. Like I was doing earlier, right? The same kind of wandering man.
Yeah, you open the door, you saunter out. You going left, you going right?
Oh, I'm going left.
You look to the left and you see coming around there appear to be armored individuals.
I'm going right.
You look to the right and you see armored individuals.
I am going forward.
There is someone who is like, what's all this noise? As they open their door from across the side, and you see almost perfectly across them, their room's probably on like 10 or 15 foot deep, that their window is wide open. And they're still holding their door open. You want to go straight?
I'm going to break into a dead sprint.
Looking to your left, looking to your right, you go straight.
Dead sprint for the window.
And this individual, you push past them, and you run, and you jump.
See ya, Doug!
Jabanu! And you jump through the window like a bullet, and luckily for you, because I'm going to say you didn't fully check, but why would you?
No.
You come crashing down to the top of a canopy of a tent for one of the stalls down below. Person is just cleaning up for the day, and they for some reason, mind you, Jabanu, they're still cleaning up, and they just say, Jabanu, good to see you. Keeps cleaning. You hear individuals running into the room, looking out the window. Where are you going first?
What's around me? Am I still inside?
You're inside the courtyard.
Courtyard. Okay.
Within the main city.
Whatever is the quickest way to the stables is where I'm going.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because for all of your effort in putting off work, you have learned a thing or two about getting out of here unseen. You know the quickest way to the stables. You also know that it's going to be a choke point, an opportunity for you to be grabbed, connected, and overseen by any number of individuals that will not be in your favor. You also know You also know that if you were to cut through the equivalent of like the mess hall right now, jump through an adjoining courtyard, and then head over what is a hedge maze, essentially, cutting straight through instead of actually going through the hedge maze itself, you will likely be able to buy enough time to make it to the stables without them following you.
I am going to do exactly that because I'm not leaving Myza. Number two, I don't think I get very far without Myza anyway.
Correct.
Yes. So I'm going to run straight through the hedge maze, which I've always wanted to do.
Yes. Do you have any specific poses that you strike as you go through each bush?
It's going to be, I mean, it's probably just, I'm going to burst through, like, wow. It's going to be the most awkward, inelegant, like stumbling through, like the end of Ferris Bueller, but the opposite.
Yeah.
Like if Ferris Bueller was running and everything went wrong.
You bust through the first wall, and essentially the keep is still open. And you like bust through the first wall. You're in like a 10-foot wide section, and you can hear this passing conversation. Dad, I can't believe you finally brought me to the hedge maze. I've been so excited to come here. Ah! As you just like burst through and look down and see this kid, and just like dumbfounded father holds his thumb tight.
I'm gonna be like, he went that way, and keep running.
You bust through the next one.
Yeah.
And you keep going. You make it to the other side of the hedge maze.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Stables.
You've only got a little bit further to go from here. Even though the stables are in a separate district or area of the Citadel of Lore, you have gone to essentially like the outer exterior wall of the city and are now going to essentially circumvent some of the inner markets, some of the other areas where the other researchers would be gathering. You're also going to be going around some of the markets and taverns where essentially most people would be. Right? If they are attempting to find you or follow you, they are probably going to be at the populated area so they can either hide in plain sight or wait for those main choke points. You have bought yourself enough time to make it to the stables. You make it to the stables. You go to find Myza in that beautifully manicured, well taken care of stable that you spent so long, an hour specifically,
Yes.
on today. And you see Myza, and it looks like she's already bedded down for the night.
All right, I'm gonna do my like command like yeah, girl, let's go.
There's no movement.
I'm gonna freeze. I'm gonna go and Myza.
Myza is cold.
So Jabanu's heart shatters, but he's got no time for that. I you know, like make like a silent oath to myself, and then I run.
Just so you know, as you are first and foremost focused on Myza, and to be clear, Myza is not your method, your mode of escape. Myza was your friend. You turn around, I don't have time for this, I must move, and you look around, and it looks like every other horse and every other creature in this stable has bedded down for the night.
I think I will try to commandeer one of the horses.
You go up to it, and it looks like it's been exsanguinated.
Oh.
You go to the next one. It's the same story for every single one.
I'm like, push it all down, run.
There is a separate entryway. The Citadel of Lore is a city, a country, a city-state, if you will, in its representation. It has its own levies, its own tariffs, it has its own laws, it has its own principles whenever it comes to taxation. You have other ways to enter and exit the city as well. And you realize in this moment of clarity that only this type of point-specific trauma can bring is that if you are going to make it out of here, you need to essentially make the smartest and most efficient decisions. And you head to the closest exit. And surprisingly, there are no guards. There is no one waiting for you. There is no one looking to shut the gates. There is no one who is waiting to capture or collect you.
I'm gonna throw on my robe and flip it inside out to the kind of like pale sort of sand color side. And I know my only chance is to run out to the sands where I have a bit of a terrain advantage.
You are not impeded, like some of the other bipedal individuals are.
Yeah.
And you head to the dunes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you,
Yes.
and I need you to answer in good faith.
Uh-huh.
How long do you think Jabanu can run?
Well, I can make a con save if you want.
Not tonight.
He's...
How long do you think he's willing to run?
I think in his sort of heightened state and in the desperation and the fact that he had an overall pretty restful morning. And he's a desert elf, doesn't need to sleep. I think he could run for probably about 10 or 12 hours. Maybe not running the whole time, but definitely like walking and then running down the dunes and then walking up and then running down. You know,
it's quite some time.
And then it kind of turns into more of probably by hour 2, it probably turns into more of like just a hike.
Yeah. Jabanu, you flee. You flee whatever semblance of a life that you had. You flee, leaving behind the friends that you had, the acquaintances, the connections that you had. And you make it to an area that you have utilized before. It's a small oasis. It's an interesting one, something that you find unique even amongst you and your kin, is oftentimes the oases that you would either essentially like shack up around, being to move your nomadic lifestyle and create this new temporary home, oftentimes had some inherent shelter built around them near some over cliff, right? This one rests atop an overlook, a small cliffside. And from this cliffside looking down, you can see these undulating waves of dunes upon dunes upon dunes. And it's interesting, with this light breeze this evening, it almost looks like it's an ocean, as you can see the sand shifting, sweeping to and fro. You also know that it wasn't too long ago that there was a full moon. And while it is still just waning a smidge, it still lights this area. And as you come to rest, taking a breath, the constitution that you have, the determination you have to escape, to leave this threat, this danger behind, empowered you. But everyone needs to rest eventually. And it's better to rest somewhere that you feel like you've got a home turf advantage. You've rested here before.
Yeah, this is where I go to write sometimes. So I'm gonna get down. I'm just immediately gonna stick my head in the water and just start drinking from this oasis. And I'm gonna put my head up. I think the cold dunk helped a little bit because my heart's been beating in my head probably like the whole time I've been walking. I sit down and like my whole body was like tense. I don't quite relax, but I stop moving at least. And I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna try and hide behind inside whatever foliage there might be. And
it's a really good idea that you have. And I would love to see it come to fruition. As you bring your head out from this small pool, this oasis, you take in, there's that moment where you've come up from a pool and you've eyes clear as there is water, and you see standing on the other side of this small pool of water a cloaked figure. They are wearing not blacks, they are wearing taupes, light grays, light browns. And you see in their hand that there is what appears to be a dagger, maybe about 6.5 inches. And they just stare at you. And their face is covered.
Shaking, I'm gonna pull out my dervish. Face the assassin. Animal fury. Bestial fury. Nope. I'm gonna throw the dervish down and run.
Okay. What's your movement speed?
That'd be 30 feet.
Beautiful. You throw the dervish down before it is even able to clatter onto, because even though it's the sandy area, as we get closer to the oasis, there's more rock and other foliage surrounding this base that's breaking over this cliffside. You throw it down, you turn to run, and the cloaked figure is standing before you.
Oh, no.
It's really not that fun if you don't try to get away.
Well, you see...
I want this to be good for both of us. Don't ruin this for me.
Wow, what a good line. I'm gonna run the other way. I'm gonna run again.
And you hear from first, almost like we're taking this in stereo, from like about 60 feet to your right. 1. And then 60 feet to your left. 2. And then from like 30
you're
feet
sick.
behind you. No one's ever made it to 3 before.
You're sick! Listen. Listen, tell them it's all a misunderstanding, okay? I can absolutely explain what those documents are.
You crash into this individual as they appear in front of you.
Hey, listen, I don't know who sent you. Okay, I do know who sent you. That was a lie. You know, it's just tell the boss, you know, we can talk this out. I'm a very valuable employee.
What if you begged?
You
Get on your
mean
knees.
like... I really don't... Okay. Right here?
Well, yeah.
Alright, let me just get down. I'm gonna go smack her. I'm gonna try and smack her across the face.
Yeah.
And then run.
There is no attempt to block it whatsoever, and you smack them across the face, which is completely covered, right? Almost like there's this, like athletic wrapping, almost, wrapped up around their entire face and head. And you smack them with a dull smack because of the cloth, and you just hear, ow.
I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep running. Hey, you'll never catch me.
And there's like almost like keeping up right next to you. I think I am.
I'm gonna stop.
That's what I thought.
I just...
You made it pretty far. Like not now, earlier.
All right, well, if you want to make some kind of sport of this, I can go back and get my dervish. Just wait right there.
And as soon as you go to move, they take their dagger and just like bring it up to your neck.
Oh, okay. Please spare my life. Please. Pretty please with the date syrup on top.
And you watch we feel more so than watch, as this individual just takes a slight nick off your neck. And you watch as the dagger absorbs the liquid. And then you watch as they like take the dagger and almost like they're dragging it across their cloaked face. And they say, they said I couldn't have a taste. So I'm gonna save this for later.
Oh, you are one. Oh no, I'm gonna run again. I'm going. My instincts are just to turn my back and run.
You turn your back and you take off, and then you hear somebody call out behind you, 3, and they stab you between the L3 and the L4 vertebrae, which immediately paralyzes you and severs your spinal cord as you fall face down onto the sands.
Oh boy.
So, you're not going to be able to feel anything, because I'm not a monster. But this is the end. For you, I heard you used to like to write stories. Would you like me to, I don't know, make a story of this?
I can't really talk right now. I'm sort of losing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me help. And takes out like a small like pad, most likely from your pack. Anything that you would have had, starts rummaging through your stuff. and just like puts it down on the ground next to your face, but makes no attempt to bring your arm up to it. That's probably going to be pretty hard for you too. How about this? How about I stay with you until the very end? I'll keep you company. Would you like that?
I vaguely nod. I just gotta tell you.
They lean in.
There's Jari. She dies in the end.
You bitch! And then stabs you in the neck.
Oh.
And Jabanu is dead.
Oh, man.
I'm going to give you an opportunity, Jabanu. Whatever happens next, what did you hope came afterwards? I don't need Jabanu to be some religious zealot. I don't need Jabanu to be someone who believes in an afterlife. But I am curious what Jabanu thought came next.
What Jabanu thinks comes next?
Yeah, the same way that an individual who maybe doesn't fully believe, but are we someone who thought that it was dust to dust, there's nothing after this? Do you think that it was going to be you and Misa just riding across the dunes forever? What did you think came next?
Jabanu probably thought. Jabanu thinks probably nothing, but there's a chance for weird god stuff. That's kind of his... He didn't really care very much because, he lived so long, still has hundreds of years to go, so...
Oh, yeah, what a shame.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, didn't really even think about it that much, honestly.
Yeah. You feel like you're breathing again.
I look around. Where
You quickly realize that even though you took that deep breath, it was mainly just symbolic. It's what your body thought you needed to do.
Oh, what do I see?
Yeah, you see the same little oasis that you were previously just at. Only you don't see any other cloaked figure, you don't see the body that is there, it is just you standing there. But I will say this, as you stand up and realize that you don't necessarily need to breathe, you look up and get your surroundings and you gaze upon a remarkably full moon, which means it's been at least a cycle. And as you stand upon this overlook, you look down, and smack dab in the middle of this vast open desert, there appears to be a tavern.
Weird god stuff it is. Alright. I'm gonna pick up my dervish and go.
Okay. You go to pick up your dervish, and as you pass your hand through the dervish, it doesn't connect with it.
Right.
And as you pull your hand back up, there is this manifestation of your dervish that you are able to hold. You quickly realize that it is a manifestation of your desire, of the dream that you are currently holding on to. You wanted to hold the dervish you shall hold.
Huh. Okay.
Puts it back. You head down to the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
It takes you a little while, assuming you go kind of back tracing a little bit to get down.
Yeah. Find my way down there.
And as you get to this door of this tavern, and I want to make this clear, this looks like any tavern that you would have found or been part of inside like the city of Archaeith, Port Haven, any of the other places around main continent Viridia. To say that it's out of place in this desert is putting it lightly. You head inside,
I'm gonna knock politely.
knock politely on the exterior of the tavern.
Tip 2.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, you knock. And because your wish, your desire, the dream for this is to create an experience that is welcoming you to come in, you see that next to the sign, right, pops down a secondary sign. And it says, you can just come in.
Ooh.
You open the door. It is a remarkably clean, remarkably well taken care of tavern. Everything is in hues of whites, grays, and taupes. There is a marble floor, and it looks like the seats themselves are cut out of marble, that they just rise out of the ground below. And you see that there appears to be a femme-presenting, a female-identifying individual sitting at one of the tables.
Hi, Jabanu al Jusur. I don't know, is there supposed to be, do I take should I take a seat, or do I wait?
I imagine that the first step would be coming inside.
All right, I'm gonna step in.
As you step inside, you see that as you cross the threshold, you begin to see phantasms of individuals that have crossed that same threshold. Dozens, if not hundreds of individuals. And this individual continues and she says, if I remember correctly, that you are not one who enjoys the company of others. And she wipes her hand, and you're alone again. Have a seat.
Okay, yeah.
You can say no if you wanted to.
I didn't do what? I'm gonna go out and haunt something? No, I'll sit right here.
Is that what you want to do?
Well, I mean, you're making it weird now. I was just gonna sit. I mean...
All I wish to do is talk.
All right. Yeah, there seems to be something significant about the seating. I mean, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna do it.
I'm sorry. And as soon as you say, like, there seems to be something significant about the seating, all the seating just disappears.
What? No. I mean, no. Okay. But can you make a chair come back? I'm sorry. I'm not good at talking to what's your name?
And there's that, like, knowing smile that the perfect scene is probably from, like, Oscar and Dwight from The Office. Like, I think you know. I think you know where we did it. Oh, you weren't a believer, were you?
Not particularly, no. I mean, I know a few prayers to certain divinities. I might know one of yours, depending on who or what you are.
She sighs and sits there for a couple of seconds. And she holds out her hand to you, like she's going for a handshake.
Okay, yeah, bring it in, yeah.
And as you grasp onto her hand, you watch as the tavern itself fades away. And you find yourself for the first time in the dreamscape that you, in the future, in the shifting realms, have come to know on multiple occasions. And she introduces herself to you for the first time, and she says, Jabanu, my name is Lord, and together we are going to do great things.
Okay.
And that is where we ended.
Okay.
Yes.
That was extremely in character. Okay.
Now, I can't say, Ben, if we made it to that 11-minute twist. But what I will say is, I think there was some tension between you and that assassin.
I think so too.
I'm just saying there might be a future between you two.
I mean, I like her vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think I just want to get to know her better.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's make that happen. Coming up next on the Shifting Realms.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.